aspirations and your hopes for your son? What is it that you want to see for him?
Well, I want him to be someone who grows up with values. I mean, I would never impose ideologies or politics in someone, but I think he should feel committed to love his neighbor, to do that. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I have plans to doing either in Peru or wherever it is. I want to do some sort of community service or kind of youth thing, something that I can feel as though I'm helping the community in a positive way, because I've done that all my life, and I think that's really important to me, and I think it's important that he see that's part of life. One of the things that I don't like about the U.S. is that it's much more impersonal in some things. There's a lot of technology. I know a lot of kids are alone and they don't have friends. It's not as... Here, I think there's still a lot more human contact around children than probably in the U.S., where it's possible to not have that. And I like the human part, especially because I think most of the world is more similar to Peru, and it's actually more similar to in the less fortunate sectors of Peru. And I think that's important that he understands that he, is not only part of that world, but he has social responsibility with that world. I don't care, what his ideology, what his politics. I just want him to be a good man, and I'm certain he will be.
For any child of an iconic person, in any sense, it's got to be hard. But I mean, in your situation, it's got to be that much harder, I imagine.
Well, my fear with him, in some sense, is, for example, I would like to take him to a daycare center, because first I need to work. I mean, and he needs to play with other children. But I don't know if other parents or their teachers are going to want to deal with me. This is a kind of complicated issue. Not all day, obviously, but he needs to slowly have contact, which is an absolutely normal thing. Because otherwise, I remember when I was a kid, maybe we didn't have a daycare center, but there were other kids in my building, and we got together and played. And that was, normal. But it's a different situation. It's not the same kind of building circumstances, and obviously that would not be. So this has become one of those things. It's like, who's going to want him? That kind of thing is still a bit of a, ¿qué voy a hacer? But he needs that. And I'll do whatever he needs. But no, there's one thing that hasn't been said here that I don't know if I said the thing about what I thought was rather strange in the audiencia today. Did I mention that? I'm just mentioning it, and especially because this will be published if I'm sent back to prison. It's unusual that the procurador get to speak twice, especially when he spoke the second time. He said the same thing he said the first time, with the exception of adding in that I was a member of the MRTA, which was a non sequitur because he was given time. But generally speaking, that does not happen. Just, for the record, that was rather disturbing to me. And I think it is disturbing that someone who is in government, representing the government, who has access to information, be saying incorrect information consistently. I don't understand it. It's something goes beyond my understanding of law and my understanding of how things should be done ethically, and I don't understand that.
So when the president of the Sala asked him what grounds is he saying that you're a danger, represent a danger to society?
And he answered. He answered he can't reveal that information. That is a very serious accusation. I'm up to terrorist activities. Not only that, by law, he must announce. Someone told. I think my lawyer told me that by law, a public functionary, a funcionario público, either from Ministerio de Justicia or judicial, if they see a crime being committed and don't announce it, it's a crime. That in itself constitutes a crime. So by saying that, he's just trying to mislead public opinion in a way to have some sort of public lynching. That is what this creates. And that is not correct, and it's not ethical. And it's certainly not judicially viable. So, like I said, he's saying, in the actual fiscal statements, he calls me a member of the MRTA. He said I was doing things I wasn't doing, things that I was acquitted of by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said I think it was like colaboración en modalidad, colaboración secundaria. It says that. I'm not inventing it. So if that's what the sentence says, why does he say that I was militant of the MRTA? I was acquitted of militancy. And say I'm a danger to society. On what basis? she's been doing things. What have I been doing? I could tell you what I can been doing. I can tell you every place I've gone to. And I'm sure the police or whoever is following me knows that too. So why are they saying I'm up to illicit activities if I'm not? And I know, and on top of it, they know I'm not. It's a way of trying to guide public opinion to, I'm right now, we're here and we're not listening to the radio. I'm sure there are call-ins, everyone telling me that I should be, I don't know, I probably should not give it to them. But I'm sure, people are asking to have me at least thrown back into jail, if not worse. So,
how are you folks holding up with this now?
It's been very hard on my family. It's been very hard on my family for the last 14 and a half years. But I remember a statement by El Doctor Villestein when they were talking about taking away penitentiary benefits. This was probably in September, October of last year. And this, you could probably find this on researching it. He said something to the effect of, you're saying, no, they can't, this could not be retroactive, because that would mean cambiar la regla del juego en medio del partido. And he said it, and I remember hearing or something to that effect. And that's what it is for my family. I mean, that's what it feels to me, what it feels to, I'd probably say to all of the people, because these are years, and many people were, I don't know how many prisoners, but it was time. People, their time's coming up, and I know people who were a month away of giving their papers in, but couldn't give it in on time, and now are stuck in another 6 years. And that kind of thing. It's the rules of the game. They have planned their lives until that point, acting perfectly well within the great rules of the system, following the system, doing what they were supposed to do, and even so, for no merit, it's taken away from them. And that's how my parents feel. They've been deprived of their daughter, deprived of their grandson, for no reason. There is no rebrote. Let's put it in these terms. And this has come out certainly it's come out in Caretas and other places when they've interviewed judges. I think there's not one case of ex-prisoner for terrorism who is caught doing the same thing. So why did they take the measure against us? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And that's the kind of thing, and on top of it, you're changing the rules of the game when we've been cooperating with the game. And I say we because I'm part of a group of people who were accused or members of whatever we were. The issue is we were paying our crime according to the law, and all of a sudden they changed the rules of the game. And that is it's not just us, it's our families. And I'm talking my family. I mean, because everyone's families was also waiting for this. And so everyone, it's not just me. It's my child, it's my parents, it's my sister, it's my friends, it's the people who were going to give me a job, it's the people who wanted to, do whatever with me. I mean, it's like, why are you changing the rules of the game? And that's the feeling I think is with my parents. And they're not young anymore. I mean, my parents, I remember this article in Caretas 15 years ago when they interviewed my father. And he said, how old are you? And he says, I'm 54 going on 100. Well, my father's going to be, going to be 70 in next year. He's from 1941. So that's it's a long time.